Hi guys, Adam from Afto Audio here. Today I'm going to show you quickly and easily how to compress piano and basically how to use this compressor to your advantage with different types of piano. This was a saved MIDI that I had that I made a while ago, and I'm using this Waves Grand Rhapsody piano sampler. So I'll just play. So this piano is quite smooth, it's quite soft. So you obviously, when you are compressing, you need to understand your sample and your genre so that they need to tie in together so they sound good. So if you don't understand what I'm saying is, so this kind of piano wouldn't be used in a dance track for the drop, as it's quite soft and smooth. So just to quickly go over this plugin, I'll leave out everything else apart from this compressor knob. So I'll just play and adjust it so you can hear. So as you can hear, it does compress it quite a lot. As it adds it, it's actually not too bad. It's all right. It's good if you want speed or if you just quickly wants to do it. So this isn't going to be as accurate as doing it yourself. So I would probably either just keep it down low or just hit it 0 if you're going to use actual plugins to do the compressing. So for this type of piano, let's just add it to mixer. So I like to use Waves. So 3A is a good plugin for a compressing plugin. CLA 3A, so it's 2A. So this plugin, the difference between this one and the 2A is kind of more aimed at percussion, and this one's kind of more aimed at like instruments. So sometimes you can pick presets. I do it quite a lot, just helps you out. I always adjust them though. I don't leave them because they're normally wrong. So for the sake of this video, I'll just leave it on the basic one. So obviously with this plugin, it's a bit different to other compressor plugins. There's only basically 2 knobs that you have to worry about, and obviously the meter. So gain, for some reason it always adds a lot more gain than you actually need. So with the compressor, when you're compressing, you need basically I start off by gain matching the compressor by turning the compressor on and off. So because you don't want to be adding any more volume, that's not what a compressor is for. So if we just do that, so as you can tell, it's a bit louder. So we'll just increase it a bit. I mean, it is still slightly different, but it doesn't have to be spot on, just roughly in the ballpark. So once you've gain matched it, then obviously the most important part is the peak reduction. So this plugin, like I said, is very simple. So basically just increase this knob and it will reduce the peaks and compress more. So ideally, you want to compress no more than 5, I would say, for a kind of soft compression. When I say 5, I mean minus 5 dB. So let me just play around so you can hear. So as you can see, that is still. I'm gonna change what I said. I'm gonna say minus 3. I think I remembered wrong. Minus 3 to minus 6 is a sweet spot for like just a a good, like, hard, punchy piano. Whereas if you want something soft, between -3 and -1. So I'd probably leave it there for this type of piano. Um, as you can see, so I'm reducing this peak. So obviously that's going to affect the output gain. So if we just listen and then um, and like A/B it again, like we did before, and just see how much it's kind of reducing, and just bump it back up to what it was like at the beginning. So obviously this compressor is obviously making the whole sound a bit warmer, a bit more full, um, and that's why you use it. That's what you want it to do. So that's ideal for smooth piano. If we just change the preset to something a bit more hard and attacky. So that preset is a bit more attacky and a bit more punchy. So I'll now show you how to compress piano for pianos like that, if that makes any sense. That was terrible English. So I'll just load up factory preset again. So it's quite loud. So gain match again. I think it must be on 4 that it affects it. That it doesn't affect it. I don't know, actually. Was that actually compressing? See, that's the one thing I don't like about this plugin. Any other plugins, it would start like as a threshold. Let's see if I can't remember if this one has it. So yeah, you have a threshold knob, so you can actually like a bit more customization. We'll use that one in a second. It's probably not the best compressor for the job, but anyway, back to compressing with this. So we've roughly matched the gain, and then obviously because of its much more punchier piano, we want to aim between -3 and -6 dB peak reduction. So I'll just do that now. So now we've done that, we'll increase the gain to match it again. So that obviously you can tell all the notes are a bit more, they're less clear and there's less clarity for each note. So that sound in the melody is a bit more blended and mixed together with all the other notes. So it just creates a much more less dynamic kind of sound, if that makes any sense. English is not good today. So that's this compressor at least. Let's use some other ones. Let's actually, I never use this compressor, I must say. I don't really like it because there's no visualizer. I know you could probably add one, but I'll just try and use it. for the sake of this video. So ratio-wise, obviously depends on the type of piano. Obviously, the higher the ratio, the harder the compression. So for 2 to 1 for like soft piano, and I'd probably go like 6 to 10, like somewhere like that for harder, punchier pianos. Most importantly is forget all the like numbers and that. Just do what sounds what you think is the best for the type of song it is. So obviously, so that sounds far too over compressed. But if you just dial it back, so yeah, I think that's a lot better than the other compression that I just showed, as it just sounds more natural, and you don't want it to be too obvious unless for some reason you want it to. So that's the fruity compressor, and let's use this one also. So with the attack and release knobs, obviously if you reduce the attack, it's going to compress more, as there's going to be less time between the input and the output of like the compression. And then if you increase the release, then the compression is going to be released for a longer amount of time instead of a short release. So there's going to be less compression. So I don't usually touch these too often. Obviously, it's good to adjust for vocals or snares or kicks to adjust it to get it right. But with piano, I normally just leave it what the preset is, as it normally sounds best. So I'll just play it, and so you can hear what they do. So most importantly, as you can tell, as I do it, it compresses more, so there's going to be less gain. Okay, yeah, so this plugin has output and dry, also just for extra customizability, I suppose. Just a quick tip: if you've got like 4 pianos going to a piano bus, if you want there to be more punch, then just have a compressor on that. Sorry, no, don't have a compressor on that. Well, you can do. Make a send track and like name it like slammed compressor or something, and then so I'll just show you what I mean. If we just dock to right, so so just slammed, then we will just add a compressor. Let's do 2A. Whack up this. I don't know how good this sounds, obviously, and then just send this to this. So send whatever, like bus or whatever, to this slam track. Just click on it. Don't do this like you normally would if you were sidechaining or anything. You still want it to go to the master as well as this. So send it to that, and then just adjust how much you want getting to that track. So obviously you would have to adjust levels because it's going to add to the gain. So if you turn this down a bit. So this is good for, say, if you're doing a dance track, house track, got piano, in the verse, it's nice and soft and lovely. In the drop, it's going to be real compressed, and obviously you can automate this button or knob, so you can make that change. But so it just adds a lot more punch to only some of it. So if this was on this, let's just mute that one. Let's stop it going through there and make it back. This would be compressed so much. But as it's going through here, so it's like you can see on the meter that there's only part of it that's getting really squashed, and it can just help transform your mix to make a better piano. And it doesn't have to be just on piano. It could be on literally any drums, vocals, synths, whatever. Just a little tip to get punchier and smoother, depending on, well, just heavier compression. There we go. Words, finally. Anyway, that's it for this video. Hope I've taught you something. If not, then you've probably just wasted your time. But anyway, if you could just hit the first link in the description, go to my Instagram, just give it a follow, help me out loads. And also just whilst you're down there, just hit subscribe, why not? And also just give us a comment to see how well, or if you know of a better way to compress piano, or any things, important tips I've missed out. It just helps me out to produce better content. But like I've said before, hope you've enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.